Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. Sorry, I'm just going to change some of the settings here. There we go. It's much better. So I'm going to kick off with a game of Tanglet. Start with a small one. So the rules are, once you select a letter, you've got to have a letter adjacent to it and then make a letter out of it. But you've got to use the ones next to it. Can't use any of them twice. Feel free to join in. Just if you see a word, say so in the chat. So tails would be another one. I'm using a limited English vocabulary, so it doesn't have the full amount of about 70,000 words or something like that. It's only about 5,000. And once it's done, I'll go through the missed words and go through those as well. So taste is another example. Rant, someone who's angry. Tan, spend some time out in the sun and get a tan, though that's not recommended at the moment. It's not recommended at all, get burnt. Leap, if someone jumped from one part to another. Should be in there as well. And pear, the fruit. Also, if there's any words or anything else you want to have just a general chat or ask me just about anything, more than happy to help out. If there's not much else going on. Sorry I haven't been in a few days. I've been busy with some stuff behind the scenes. I'm looking to see about getting another game come through and then building on some things where people can download and use offline as well. So tear. Might tear a sheet of paper into two. Please. I was working at a new job and keen to please my boss. See? So this version is looking at something with my eyes. And see, again, they're pronounced exactly the same, even though they're spelled different. And that second one is the ocean. Okay. Learn. So I might look to teach someone some new words or show them a new system where they learn something they know more than what they'd have before. And earn as well. To go to a job and work some money, or to sell some goods. You might buy them at a low price and then sell them at a high price. Tent. To stay in some accommodation. Tent. So also, if you haven't seen any of these before, for each of the random shuffles, we've got 4 minutes on the counter, and every time we get a word wrong, it gives us a few more seconds. Stern. Headmaster gave all of the children that were late for school a stern talking to. Staying at the accommodation. I needed to pay rent. It's due at the end of the month. Let's see if aunt is in. The opposite of aunt. A shortened version of it, so shortened for not. Another one might be a cat preens itself, where it starts licking. Rate. Might be asked to give some feedback and rate something. Least. With all of the numbers between 5, 7, 9, 3, and 2. 2 is the least, the smallest of them. Let's try neat as well. After being shown a shortcut to do something, I thought it was pretty neat. And you can also have that to be neat and tidy. Rest. Someone might go and have a sleep and have a time away to rest. And salt to put on some food. was thinking else. Real as opposed to fake. And let's try press. Whoops. No, I don't have two E's in the way, not two S's. Got a bit confused there. Press is in newspaper journalists. Slate is in. You might have an employee that I didn't get along with and say, I'll start with a clean slate. And we're over. 34 points out of 311. So some of the words that I missed were alert, alter. I might be seeking to change something. An arena. So the Colosseum is an arena where people would go into and fight. Earnest. Someone giving their best. Eastern and Easterner. And Easter on the Christian calendar. And trap. So I think there's not too sure of the criminal code, but entrapment is where the police try and get a criminal to do something, where if you can't really be done. Depending on the law, it might be an illegal an excuse to get away from something. I'm not too sure, but it's there's a movie about it with Sean Connery, and I've forgotten the name. Anyway, it's worth a look. Have a look at the trailer if not. They're two criminal masterminds. Erase and eraser. A laser beam, laser pointer. And a nest, the home of a bird. Parent is one of the two people that make a child. You could go into whether someone is the biological parent or whether they're, but to me it's a caregiver. You've been a significant part of the child's life. Partner. It can be a business partner as well. Police usually will travel with the same partner. And people in living together. Plaster, petal, platter. A platter of food can be brought out at special occasions. Rattle, baby rattle. But you might also take your car into a shop if you notice a small rattle in it, if you're not sure what the noise is, and get the mechanic to look at it. Resale. Retreat. It's where it might be military. It's usually used with the military, where they were holding an area and they decide to give it up voluntarily or run away from it. Separate. So in cooking, you might have some eggs where you've got the yolk and the egg white. You might need to separate those to form separate parts of the recipe, and might, I think, only use the egg whites for protein. I'm not too sure on that. And splatter. So a child might jump into a pool of muddy water and splatter some of the other people with a bit of some get them dirty. We've got both steals there. First one is someone is looking to take something they don't, and there's the metal. A hill might be steep, so even though you've got the accelerator of the car right to the floor, it's not going well. And tattle. It might be go and tell on someone. So someone, the whole class, someone might have written something up on the board, and one of the children might tattle to the teacher, say who did it. And trestle, it's a building. Won't go into that at the moment, so I'll kick off into a new game. We'll go back to the larger square. In this case, the large square letters need to be 4 long. Start with rise. Let's try cotter. No. Get lines in there as well. And let's get clone. Oh, clones. Clone, we're making a duplicate of it. Test. Nest again for the bird. Enter. I knocked on someone's door and they told me I could enter. Almost got guess, but that's not two S's in there at the moment. Let's try with risen, something that's previously rose. Risen, rose up. Sent. I sent my parents a letter. Sent someone a postcard. Let's try with dots. There were several dots on the sheet of paper. I wasn't too sure what they were for. Soil. I went to a friend's house and noticed the soil was a lot richer in nutrients. And go with tense. Whoops. So tense can either be present tense, past tense, future tense, talking about different times. But I could also describe someone, they've had a particularly rough day, that might be described as tense. And otter, playful animals that are amphibians. Rent as well. Road. You could say we rode down to the shops on a bike or a motorbike. Even a horse. I'm not sure what redos. Yeah, redos in. Okay. The lecturer failed a student, but they gave him a chance to redo the exam in a week's time. Yep, test. No, tester isn't in. Thought resent. I'll try it on the typing it in. If I type it in, it'll give me any options. So yeah, resent is one. So, make it precise. Siren. The siren on the police car is very loud. It's to warn people as it goes past. And we're done. So Mr. Few site to provide sources Clitoris, it's a part of the body that women have. Coin, content, cost, dense, critter, genetic, gusto. Someone might do something with a large amount of gusto. A performer might make it very dramatic. I guess the opposite of gusto is to be very calm, monotone, and boring. But if someone does it with gusto, then they're a lot more energetic and they have a bit more presence, I guess. Intent and intense. Sitting exam, might be intense. Lone and loner. That's pronounced the same way as LOAN as well. Nicotine in cigarettes. Restore. You might have a save game that you look to restore. Serene, something very serene is calm. You might be out by a lake with a mountain off in the far. Snug. Usually you could say you're snug as a plug in a rug. It's if you're in bed and you've got blankets around you, it's all nice and warm. You could say someone's very snug. Sunset and strode. Someone might have strode into a shop looking very angry. And totter. Unsolicited. So that would be as if someone was walking around a suburb, knocking on people's door, asking if they wanted to buy insurance. They've come up to you. It's not like they've got a shop in there that sells insurance and people walk in. If it's unsolicited, they have approached you without you showing any signs of being interested in what they're after. So I'll start off with another game. So jump in if you've got any suggestions or see any words. We start with 4 minutes on the clock. Any word we see gives us a few extra seconds. So boon. There might be have someone in. They might be do me a favor. So I might owe them a boon. Done. Gone. I just got to check some things there. I've just had what looked to be an error show up on the screen. Corn isn't quite right. The food. Rent. Whoops. Stone. Reed. You might see some reeds in a river. So plants that come up from the water. Code. People might talk in code to have things keep them secret. None. Another word for zero. Nest. The birds where birds live. Deer. The animals. Let's try node. See if that's on there. Might have a network with several different nodes for endpoints that can communicate from one to the other. Let's try a nude as well, where it's describing someone that's not wearing any clothes, which means that June would also be on. So a large pile of sand and a door. So trying hard to see if there's any more, trying to figure out longer than 4 words. Anyone can see any. Welcome to jump on in with the chat. Seed. A plant seed. Put that into the soil, give it some water, and it'll grow. Thinking street, but I can't find a way for it to match up the last T. Shore. Someone might ask me if they could take their break early. Everything's fine and calm, so I could say sure. Trend. Might be a growing trend of people using internet acronyms in everyday speak. But trends will change all the time. Nose. Body part. A turret. So battleships would have several turrets on them where the guns could spin around to point at other ships. Cone. So ice cream cones. Wood. I might say that the cake that my neighbour baked me was good. Steer should be an animal. So about 40 seconds left, so if anyone can see anything, let me know. No, I don't quite have surrender. It's not going to be. No, I don't have the name Rodney. And we're done. Still not too happy with the number of points. So bond, someone might give a bond if they are bailed. So if I'm charged with crime and I might have a choice of apply for bond where I might be able to go home if they don't think I'm a big risk, but I could apply a bail like $10,000 bond, and that's my surety that I'll turn up to court when the attendance is. But if I don't turn up to court, then I lose my bond. Or whoever put it up for me. It doesn't necessarily have to be mine. A bronco. I think it's a type of horse. Condense. We take something that's very big and shrink it right down. So if I was to condense this video, I would make sections of it where I was just reading and finding the words, where I might have 30 seconds where I'm not looking around, and I don't find anything. So, condor, type of animal, it's a bird. Coroner, it's usually called to investigate people that have died, try and figure out how they've died, and is there anything that can be prevented for it. So I might investigate car accidents. Deter, I might put an extra visible lock on the front of a business if I've got a commercial property selling stuff, and try and stop people from breaking into it. Or in the cash register, you might take out the till and show that the money's been put away from the safe. So that way, if someone is thinking about smashing the window and grabbing the cash register, that you've just told them that there's no money in there, so don't even try. Dunce. Yeah, it's not very common used. If you It's someone that's not too bright. And that's sort of how I'm feeling with getting some of these scores. I should be able to. So I can get quite higher, especially after I've played them for a while. A nurse at a hospital, someone that might come and check on you on day to day and deal with the common things, might take temperatures and check notes. And oboe, that's a type of instrument. And sneer. So someone who's not very fond or not a good friend of me might sneer as I walk past. It's not very good at all. Stoned. There's two meanings that come to mind here. The first one, and the common usage, someone who's stoned, is that they've smoked weed. But also in a long time ago, there were people that were stoned to death. And undone. So I do a whole lot of good work, but one bad move could see that all undone. If I ended up maybe breaking the boss's favorite model, no, vase or something like that in there, the office. Anyway, I'll do one more and then I'll probably head off for the night. Spend some time planning something bigger going on for the channel. But I realized I hadn't done a live stream in a while, so I wanted to make myself available. So if you've got any questions, anything you think I can help out with, let me know, even if the video is finished, and I'll do my best to address it the next time it's I do a live stream. Dine. You go out and had some food. Yeah, and you could say that you have it at a diner. Send. Burn. And burn should be in as well. So we might have no, I don't think burner is going to be in there. You might have what's called a burner phone. List. No, but best should definitely be in here. The best option available. Life. And a line. So there might be a line drawn on a sheet of paper. And I should be able to say it's lined as well. So a lined sheet of paper would have pre-drawn lines on it. I'm not sure if nerd's going to be in here. Yep, someone that might be have a lot of book smarts, but not very street smart. I was thinking render got a bit further along than bend, definitely. Used. I brought some food in, put it into the company kitchen, and I might have got upset if someone else used it. Then again, they might need to use it. A needle used in sewing. A belt, an item of clothing. And a file, a tool. Plus you could also have a personnel file. Steel. No. Feel. Could ask someone how they're feeling. Be good, bad. Fleet. A navy might have a very large fleet of ships. Nine. Number, just one less than 10. No, I was thinking dense. Well, the night should definitely be in there. Yeah, I just wanted to check it wasn't the other way around. I might put in some leave and find out it gets denied because it's a particularly busy time. No, I was thinking plural for buses might have been in there. Best. No, and we're done. I'll quickly run through these because I'm going to have to go somewhere else. Someone could be said making a beeline would be heading straight for one area. A beetle, small animal, might bundle up several newspapers together to treat as one parcel and pass on to someone. An elder would be the older people, the older, typically wiser. Felt is a type of material. Infield, an infielder, used in typically, I think, baseball. Lender, someone who will loan things out, typically money. Needless, something that doesn't have to happen. And redness. So if you injure your foot, it might, even though it's not bleeding, it might show signs of red, indicating it might be a bit damaged under the skin. And under, it's something that's below something else. And a user on a computer. So I'll wrap it up here. I'm going to have to head out soon. So if you've got any questions, comments, feedback, please let me know. But otherwise, have a good night.